Welcome to Star Bios, the podcast where we delve into the fascinating lives of Hollywood's most beloved stars. Today, we're shining the spotlight on a comedy legend who left an indelible mark on the entertainment industry, Lou Costello. With his signature rapid-fire delivery and lovable, bumbling persona, Costello captivated audiences alongside his partner, Bud Abbott, in some of the most iconic comedies of all time. But before he became a household name, Louis Francis Castillo, aka Lou Costello, was just a young boy growing up in Paterson, New Jersey, surrounded by the sights, sounds, and flavors of a vibrant Italian-American community. Born on March 6, 1906, to Italian immigrant parents Sebastiano and Helen Castillo, Lou was the youngest of 8 children in a family that valued hard work, tradition, and, above all, laughter. His father, a skilled silk weaver, worked tirelessly to provide for the large family, often laboring long hours in the textile mills that lined the Passaic River. The smell of silk and wool, the hum of looms, and the chatter of workers would become familiar sounds to Lou, who would later draw upon these experiences to create some of his most memorable characters. His mother, Helen, managed the household and cared for the children with a warm, nurturing touch, often filling the home with the aroma of freshly baked bread, simmering sauces, and roasting meats. The Castillos' home was always filled with music, food, and lively conversation, laying the groundwork for Lou's future as a master of comedic timing and audience rapport. On Sundays, the family would gather around the radio to listen to Italian opera, the sounds of Enrico Caruso and Luigi Pirandello filling the airwaves. Lou's parents would regale their children with stories of the old country, of festivals and feasts, of love and laughter, and of the struggles and triumphs of their ancestors. These early experiences instilled in Lou a deep appreciation for the power of storytelling and the importance of connecting with others through humor and empathy. As a child, Lou was a bit of a wild card, always getting into mischief and pushing the boundaries of what was considered acceptable behavior. His parents, though loving and supportive, struggled to rein in their rambunctious youngest son. According to family lore, Lou's antics often drove his siblings to distraction, but they also helped him develop the quick wit and clever wordplay that would become hallmarks of his comedic style. He would often play pranks on his brothers and sisters, hiding their belongings or replacing their hairbrushes with fake ones made of twigs and leaves. These early experiments in comedy helped Lou hone his timing and delivery, as well as his ability to think on his feet and respond to unexpected situations. Growing up in Paterson during the early 20th century was a unique experience. The city was a melting pot of cultures, with immigrants from all over Europe arriving daily to work in the thriving textile mills. This diverse environment exposed Lou to a wide range of accents, customs, and stories, which he would later draw upon to create some of his most memorable characters. He would often explore the city's vibrant neighborhoods, marveling at the colorful markets, the street performers, and the lively debates that filled the air. The Castillo family lived in a small apartment above their grocery store, where Lou would often help out with deliveries and learn the art of schmoozing with customers, a skill that served him well in his future interactions with fans and fellow performers. Lou's early education took place at the local Catholic school, where he was an average student but excelled in extracurricular activities like drama and sports. His passion for performing was evident even then, as he would often entertain his classmates with impressions and jokes during recess. He would mimic the accents of his teachers, the priests, and the nuns, using humor to bring his fellow students together and create a sense of community. However, Lou's true love was baseball. He was a talented player and dreamed of one day becoming a professional athlete. Though this ambition ultimately didn't pan out, his experience playing sports taught him valuable lessons about teamwork, discipline, and showmanship, all of which would be essential to his future success as a comedian. As Lou entered his teenage years, he began to develop a strong interest in vaudeville and the performing arts. He would often sneak into the local theater to watch shows and learn from the performers. This was an era when vaudeville was at its peak, with legendary acts like Charlie Chaplin, the Marx Brothers, and W.C. Fields touring the country and honing their craft. Lou was particularly drawn to the work of these comedians, studying their timing, physicality, and ability to connect with audiences. He saw how they could evoke laughter, tears, and applause from crowds, and he became determined to follow in their footsteps. The early 1920s were a time of great change for Lou Costello. He dropped out of high school to pursue a career in show business, much to the dismay of his parents, who had hoped he would take over the family grocery store. Instead, Lou began performing in local talent shows and working as a laborer to make ends meet. It was during this period that he adopted the stage name Lou Costello, reportedly inspired by a silent film actor named Harry Langdon's character, whose surname was also Costello. This newfound identity gave Lou the freedom to experiment with different personas and characters, to try out new material, and to develop his unique comedic voice. As he navigated this kaleidoscopic world, Lou began to hone his craft, studying the techniques of seasoned performers like Charlie Chaplin, whose subtle pantomime skills had a profound impact on Lou's own physical comedy style. He spent countless hours observing the greats, from the Marx Brothers' rapid-fire wit to W.C. Fields' sardonic humor, and he worked tirelessly to refine his own brand of slapstick comedy. The Marx Brothers, in particular, were a significant influence on Lou, with their zany antics and quick-witted banter inspiring him to create his own unique brand of chaos. By 1927, Lou had started to make a name for himself on the vaudeville circuit, performing in small towns and cities across the United States. He often shared bills with other up-and-coming comedians, including a young actor named Bud Abbott, with whom he would eventually form a legendary partnership. The two men would often talk shop, swapping stories and sharing tips on how to craft the perfect joke or execute a flawless pratfall. These conversations not only helped Lou refine his skills, but also laid the groundwork for their future collaboration. Lou's big break came in 1931 when he met Abbott at the Brighton Beach Theater in Brooklyn. The two men were initially paired together by chance, filling in for a missing act, but their instant chemistry and comedic rapport led to a lasting collaboration. As Abbott and Costello, they developed a signature style that blended Lou's physical antics with Bud's quick wit and straight-man persona. Their earliest routines, such as Who's On First and 7x1328, showcased their remarkable timing and ability to craft hilarious, absurd situations from everyday conversations. These bits not only endeared them to audiences, but also influenced a generation of comedians, including the likes of Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. The duo's unique blend of physical comedy and verbal sparring created a new standard for comedic duos, paving the way for future generations of performers. As their popularity grew, so did their repertoire, with new routines and characters being added to their act all the time. Throughout the 1930s, Abbott and Costello toured extensively, performing in vaudeville houses, theaters, and even radio broadcasts. Their popularity soared, and they became one of the most sought-after comedy duos of the era. They were a staple on the Orpheum circuit, a prestigious vaudeville chain that booked top talent from around the world. As they traveled from town to town, they honed their craft, refining their timing and chemistry with each passing performance. In 1938, they made their film debut with One Night in the Tropics, a modest success that led to a long-term contract with Universal Pictures. Over the next decade, they starred in a string of hit films, including Buck Privates, Hold That Ghost, and Whodunit, each showcasing their unique blend of slapstick humor, clever wordplay, and light-hearted charm. These films not only cemented their status as Hollywood stars, but also helped to bring their brand of comedy to a wider audience. As their film career took off, Abbott and Costello continued to tour and perform live, adapting their routines to incorporate new characters, situations, and pop culture references. They remained incredibly prolific, releasing numerous films and shorts throughout the 1940s, including Rio Rita, Pardon My Sarong, and It Ain't Hay. Their movies often featured elaborate musical numbers, clever special effects, and even nods to contemporary events, such as the war effort. Lou's rubbery face, agile body, and infectious enthusiasm made him a natural on-screen, while Bud's dry wit and authoritative presence provided the perfect counterbalance. Together, they created a comedic synergy that was greater than the sum of its parts, with each man bringing out the best in the other. This chemistry was evident not only in their performances but also in their off-screen relationship, which was marked by a deep affection and respect for one another. One notable example of their comedic genius can be seen in their 1941 film, Keep 'em Flying, where they played two bumbling pilots who inadvertently joined the Army Air Corps. The movie is filled with hilarious mishaps, from Lou's misadventures with a malfunctioning parachute to Bud's exasperated reactions as his partner's antics cause chaos throughout the base. This type of light-hearted comedic fare not only entertained audiences during a time of war, but also helped to boost morale and provide a much-needed escape from the troubles of the real world. As the 1940s drew to a close, Abbott and Costello remained at the height of their popularity, with a string of hit films, sold-out tours, and even their own radio show. They had become an integral part of American entertainment, bringing joy and laughter to millions of people around the world. Their impact on popular culture was immense, with their influence visible in everything from sitcoms to sketch comedy shows. Despite their success, Lou remained humble and grounded, never forgetting his roots as a struggling vaudeville performer. He continued to push himself creatively, always seeking new ways to innovate and improve his craft. This dedication to his art, combined with his natural talent and chemistry with Bud, helped to cement Abbott and Costello's status as one of the greatest comedic duos of all time. As he looked out at the sea of adoring fans, Lou's mind would wander back to the early days, when he and Bud Abbott first met in the 1930s. They were an unlikely pair, Lou, the short, rotund, and lovable straight man, and Bud, the tall, thin, and straight-laced foil. Yet, their contrasting personalities and comedic styles meshed together like puzzle pieces, creating a synergy that would become the hallmark of their act. Lou's dedication to his craft was unwavering, driven by an insatiable desire to innovate and improve. He spent countless hours honing his skills, studying the great comedians of the time, from Charlie Chaplin to the Marx Brothers, and experimenting with new material. This tireless work ethic, combined with his natural talent and chemistry with Bud, helped cement Abbott and Costello's status as one of the greatest comedic duos of all time. As the years went by, Lou's health began to decline, and he suffered a series of heart attacks, including a major one in 1948. The memory of that fateful day still lingered in his mind, the crushing pain in his chest, the rush to the hospital, and the long, arduous recovery that followed. Despite these setbacks, Lou continued to work, albeit at a slower pace. He and Bud adapted their act, incorporating more dialogue-driven comedy and reducing the physical demands on Lou's fragile health. The duo's film output slowed down significantly in the 1950s, but they still managed to produce some notable works, such as Abbott and Costello Meet the Invisible Man and Dance with Me, Henry. These films showcase their unique brand of comedy, blending witty wordplay, physical humor, and clever plot twists. Their final film together, Dance with Me, Henry, released in 1956, was a bittersweet milestone, marking the end of an era for the beloved duo. In their later years, Abbott and Costello were recognized for their contributions to comedy and entertainment. Lou was also honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Screen Actors Guild, a poignant acknowledgement of his dedication to his craft. As he accepted the award, Lou's eyes sparkled with pride, and he quipped, "I'm not a comedian, I'm an actor who plays comedians," highlighting his desire to be taken seriously as a performer. Lou Costello's life came to an end on March 3, 1959, when he died of a heart attack at the age of 52. The news sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry, and fans around the world mourned the loss of a comedy legend. Bud Abbott passed away in 1974, but the legacy of their partnership continued to endure, inspiring generations of comedians and actors. Today, Lou Costello is remembered as one of the greatest comedians of all time, his influence still visible in many modern performers. Jim Carrey has often cited Lou as a major inspiration, praising his masterful use of physical comedy and timing. Will Ferrell, too, has acknowledged the debt he owes to Abbott and Costello, incorporating elements of their style into his own brand of humor. The Marx Brothers, who had been a significant influence on Lou's early career, also paid tribute to his legacy, recognizing him as a fellow pioneer in the world of comedy. His legacy continues to bring joy and laughter to audiences around the world, reminding us that, as he once said, "Comedy is like a puzzle. You have to find the right pieces and put them together in the right way." Lou Costello's life was a puzzle well solved, and his impact on the world of comedy will be felt for generations to come. Their legacy serves as a reminder that, in the world of comedy and beyond, it's not just about individual talent, but about the connections we make with others, the laughter we share, and the memories we create together. That's all for today's Starbios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, I'm Casey Gold, reminding you to keep shooting for the stars.